Oh, it was wrong.
You turn it inside out. This looks like it's inside out.
So what have we got here?
Nice alloy rock cover. The plastic ones, when they're undone and retorqued, tend to crack.
Where do they crack up?
Generally at the back, in here.
Oh.
But not always. But it's already off, so.
Better be safe than sorry.
Exactly right. Last thing we want is a big oil leak on the dyno.
Again. So we've got a nice new alloy rocker cover gasket. Alloy rocker cover with a new gasket kit.
New gasket, new injector seals, new injector line seals.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Alright, let's have a look back at the engine. Plus 30 injectors all in. Lines ready to rock. We've got a Garrett, what is it, a Garrett high flow?
Yeah, Garrett, high spools, high flow.
We've got, what's this? BRD.
Yeah, BRD front mount.
BRD front mount. Customer's got it all hooked in. That cast elbow running through up to the intake. So get the rest of it all bolted up together and then time to hit the rollers.
And one of our custom Scotty clutches.
Ooh, custom clutch too, so
yeah.
Good for all the boosts. Okay, so we've got it here up on the dyno. Rocker cover's on, looking pretty good. Got the boost reference. Come over. All hooked up. Injector pilot learning is done. Injectors are coded. And we've got a brand new map sensor filter. And the dyno's hooked up through to see the same readings as the factory map sensor, which appears to be cable tied to the cold side pipe. So let's have a look at what else is done. Under here we've got strapped down to the dyno. Pressures are done. Wide bands in. Into here. Where's the exhaust? Oh, there it is. Exhaust sniffer probes in. And we should be ready to run. Oh wait, one important thing. There's a crucial piece of tuning kit.
Yes, the bonnet hold.
Let's hop inside the cab. Oh, these are fancy. Okay, TC's out there working out how to use a TV. We've also got this giant iPad looking thing here. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's get set up in the cab. Here we are in the cab. Let's have a look around. We've got a dollar mount gauge here, boost, EGT down there. Unfortunately, we've got this giant Android head unit display tablet thing here, which is a perfect holder for a replicated dyno display. We've got dyno wideband, a couple of other things here, boost, torque, tractive effort, speed and so forth, so you can see it sidling along here and forth. So, a little bit in, so we start to turn the rollers. Here's 70 k's. You see the boost is right up there, 8 pounds at 2000 RPM. The boost comes on really quick, which is great. And so one of the biggest things that people want to know about plus 30s is, can you run them on a stock tune? So let's find out. We've got a stock tune in here. Engine's warmed up. Checking the temps here. Yeah, everything's warmed up. So let's rip a run on a stock tune with the plus 30 injectors, the Garrett high flow turbo, plus all the usual bolt-ons and things, and let's see how things look. 2 runs in, let's have a look. So we've got 120 kilowatts there, and big question you've all been waiting for, can you run plus 30s on a stock tune? And let's have a look. So this one here, this curve that goes up, peaks, and then tapers off, that's the power curve. So we've got a peak power of 120 kilowatts. So this curve here, that's got some waves in it, that's the AFR trace, so air fuel ratios. So on this graph we're scaled from 10 AFR at the bottom to 30 AFR at the top, and the richest point during the run is here, which is 3500 RPM, and we're getting 19 AFR. So let's see if we can get that focused in. There we go. So yeah, you can see that the mixtures are nice and safe, giving us 19 AFR at just before peak power. So that's one of the reasons why the plus 30s are so popular. You can just put them in on a stock tune and get pretty safe AFRs. If you went any more than that, you'd probably end up having quite a rich mixture. So that's only half the story though, because it's of course mixed in with the airflow, and the airflow in this case is represented by the boost. And we can see we actually have quite a high boost at 19 psi. So this is one of those things that it's probably not quite a hard and fast, yes you can run it, no you can't. So that's only half the story. The other side from the fuel is the boost, or the airflow. So you can see down here we're running 19.2 psi, relatively flat boost curve, and that's with the Garrett high flow turbo. Mind you, this is all on a stock tune, so the settings in the stock tune has resulted in that level of boost without throwing a boost code actually, which is quite fortunate for this car. So it's a very case-by-case basis. If you had these injectors without this amount of airflow and this turbo, then you definitely would be running a lot richer, and it wouldn't be safe without a tune. And so the big takeaway from this is, if you're going to run it without a tune, you really need to check your air fuels to make sure that everything is in check. If the setup's like this, plus 30, stock tune, Garrett high flow turbo, 20 pounds of boost, chances are you probably will be okay, but better to be safe than sorry. In this case, the way to check is with your AFR. All wrapped up here. So let's have a look at where we ended up. There's the big number there, 160 kilowatt. So this is going to be a really nice driver. Where we ended up was 160 kilowatt at around 3,800 RPM. There's a couple of series of all the different dyno runs on the way to getting there. We also have a really nice boost curve holding 26.5 psi across the majority of the RPM range, and a really healthy torque curve, so just under 600 newton meters, peaking at 2680 RPM. So bundles of torque, a nice power band, good controlled boost, and do some finishing touches, get it off the rollers and go for a test drive. Here we are on the test drive. Yeah, right, boost. Put the window down a little bit.
See how it pulls up the hill.
Here we go, up the hill. Beautiful.
26 pounder boost, beautiful.
Wonderfully smooth. Plenty of torque on tap.
What did you say? 600 newton meters.
600 newton meters on the dyno sheet.
In nice and early, very smooth. Very happy so far.
Yeah, it's not too peaky, is it?
No. Go for a lap up Laverns Creek bypass, get some cruising speed under it, see what it does.
Yeah. So this is one of the parts of test drive, pulling out onto traffic. So we've got the traffic out there. And getting that nice throttle control straight off the idle, being able to pull out and have good control on the pedal.
Not too touchy like some of the other stuff we drive.
Yeah, so beautiful day. And this is part of the test drive, taking it through Sydney peak hour traffic, cruising along, get a bit of an opening, and then we can lean into the pedal. So we've got about 2,000 RPM, a couple of pounds of boost, just cruising along. And once we get a bit more opened up, be able to feel it, you can lean into the pedal and then just start pulling through the power band. Yeah.
Everyone's going to the beach.
It's been absolutely pissing down for the last 2 weeks or so, constantly. Today we've got beautiful blue skies. That was a pretty easy cruise at about 60. Come back up to Sydney Road. So hopefully we'll get clear of some of this traffic and do a little squirt. Feel the nice little transitions coming on and off the pedal. Good control over the all that power that we've now got.
You can actually hear that turbo a little bit through the RMAX, but
Yeah.
it's not as aggressive as a Dyno.
I prefer the
100%.
So when you've got a big Dyno snorkel, which is all the rage, and it comes through on the driver's side and you've got a big turbo and all the rest, all you hear is this constant whistling and noises and all kinds of things reverberating up and down. This one with the Safari R-Max up there, you get a nice turbo note, but it's also not too intrusive when you're cruising along in the cab. The clutch is also really nice.
Clutch feels great.
So this is a custom clutch from Scotty at Western Clutches, and drives really nicely. You can feel it even on the dyno. Gear to gear, really nice and smooth, not too heavy. Squirt there, we've got 26 pounds of boost, nice progressive fueling, and lots of control through the pedal. A nice easy cruise at about 70-80 k's.
Still pulls jumping back on in 5th gear.
You got to watch out that 3rd, 4th on these R151s.
We're also not running a gated turbo that comes straight in at 30 pound.
Well, that's also a good point. You know, having a nice progressive boost curve is a lot easier on the gearbox. These R151 gearboxes are known for shearing the splines out of the hub in the 3rd, 4th selector hub. So when you have a nice controlled boost, you don't have that sudden increase in torque. That's more likely to shear the splines in the gearbox. So it's got its best chance of living. It's all down to the driver from here on in.
Also worth noting is probably the air filter choice. The stock filters do flow pretty well, but if you want that extra flow and definitely need to steer clear of a K&N, uni filter is always a really good choice.
Prolonged service life.
And very good flow. Especially in the 200s and stuff, they seal a lot better in the factory airboxes.
Oh yeah, they got an extra little bit around the outer.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. I think with a uni filter, it's all about the service. You know, having the right kit to wash it out nicely and all that sort of stuff.
And making sure you do it.
Yeah.
Really well normally, even if you're not into it.
Yeah, cruising along. That's a big part of it as well. Yeah, you get a lot of guys pick up the car, they're full pedal all the time for the first week, and then after that, 70% of them settle down and drive normally. And you need the car to be able to behave nicely on just commuting as well. Especially if it's a bit of a tourist setup like most of these N70s with a tray and all the rest. You still have to drive on the blacktop to get to wherever you're going wheeling, so having something nice that cruises and your missus can drive and all the rest of it is really important as well.